Hey everyone, welcome back to Success by Design. And I'm your host, Katie Decker Erickson. And I am so glad that you are here because as an interior designer, as a business coach, and as your resident champion of building a design business that works for you, this is an important episode. Today, we are doing real talk. And if you've been around here for a hot minute, you know there's nothing I love more than real talk. And this kind of episode is going to lovingly call you out. And we're also going to call you up. And if you feel like you've got that in you today, come on this journey with me because I know you. I know how much you care about your work. I know how much potential is sitting inside that brilliant designer brain of yours. And I know because I've done the exact same things. And that sometimes we listen and we wait and we plan and we think about it and then we analyze it and then we do some dreaming and then we do a mood board and a vision board and then we wait and we plan some more. Well, today's topic, I'm going to ask you a hard question. What are you waiting for? Let's start with two truths and a lie. Number one, designers wait to take action until they feel caught up. I know I can relate to that. Number two, momentum comes from clarity. Number three, you need a fully mapped out plan before you start changing your business. Stick around. We're going to reveal which one is the lie at the end of this episode. But first of all, we're going to get really honest because you know that moment where that to-do list is so long that your brain just shorts out. It's like the circuit breakers in my garage when they go bad, right? They just flip and it's literally lights out and you stand in the middle of your office and you're going, okay, do I respond to the emails? Do I need to invoice? Oh gosh, by the way, I need to look for new clients because my pipeline isn't where I want it to be. And gosh darn it, I haven't posted on Instagram in a week. And then my sample closet's really in shambles and I should deal with that. And before you know it, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you've done all sorts of great things, but have you actually moved your business forward? Here's the truth, because overwhelm is not a lack of your ability. I see you. I talk to you all every week. You're an incredibly capable lot. The reality is that overwhelm is a lack of direction. And you're not stuck because you're disorganized. You're not stuck because you're slow. You're not stuck because something's wrong with you. You're stuck because you've not decided what matters most today. Remember the classic analogy of the glass jar and that you better be putting the big rocks in first before you try putting in the small rocks? As designers, we tend to be idealistic. We think we can get all the rocks in the jar just given enough time. The reality is that is death for your emotional well-being and also death for your business. You have to prioritize and be okay that not all things are going to get done, but the most important things need to be done. And if you're listening right now, I know that you want change. The fact that you're even showing up to have this conversation with me tells me you are ready for change. You want a business that supports your life, that supports your kids if you have them, supports your marriage, your creativity, most of all, your sanity. So what really supports that? It's systems, it's clarity, and it's profitability without the burnout. But here's the real kicker. And I want you to think about this for a minute because wanting something and moving toward it are two different things. We can sit there and want a lot of things, but I will tell you, most of us get stuck with what I lovingly call the paralysis of analysis. We analyze why that might not work, why that could go wrong. What could that possibly cost me? And what if that happened and I can't control that? And before you know it, you have talked yourself out of one of the best things you probably could have done for your business. This is so easy to do. In fact, I'm married to someone a lot like this, and he is the yin to my yang, and I'm very grateful for him. But what's great is he analyzes. He's paid to be an analyst and think through this. And as an entrepreneur, sometimes I have to say to him, oh my gosh, you're a dream killer. This is really, really hard to bring you ideas. Now, admittedly, after 14 years of marriage, we've gotten through a lot of that, right? And now we know how the other one operates. In fact, I usually tell myself before I go to him, he's going to want to kill your dreams. He's going to want to tell you all the reasons why this isn't going to work. Let him cycle, and then we can talk about all the things, right? The same is true in your business, except for a lot of times this goes on in your own head and it's very emotionally exhausting. Your left brain and your beautiful logic talks your right brain creativity out of what actually it should be doing. That can be really hard. Or sometimes your right brain gets so creative and juiced that your left brain's like, hello, we need some processes and systems over here. So I'm going to ask you with big sister energy and total love today, what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for more time? Because let me tell you, it's never going to happen. I look back on the time I had in my 20s when I thought my life was so busy before I got married and had kids and started a business and did all the things. Oh my gosh, I'd give my right arm to have that amount of time back again. I don't know anybody who can say, oh yeah, my life has slowed down dramatically and I'm kicking it, unless you're headed for retirement, right? Also, are you waiting for the perfect moment? Maybe there's this like dream moment you have, like all of a sudden you're going to land the dream client with the right price points. So you can hire the perfect person. I hate to burst your bubble, but that's why I'm here. Again, back to big sister tough love. It doesn't exist. That moment may come along, but it's not going to be as perfect as you think it is. The client isn't going to be as ideal as you think it is. Your margins may be compromised, which is a whole nother issue we tackle all the time when I'm coaching clients. It just doesn't exist, that perfect moment. And maybe you're just waiting to feel confident. I can't tell you how many of my coaching clients will say to me, but Katie, I have imposter syndrome. I don't feel I'm ready to do this. I need a mindset shift. Okay, I'm going to blow your mind on mindset shift today. Confidence is a byproduct of action. It's not the starting ingredient. Yeah, confidence is a byproduct of action. You have to get moving to build confidence. No one sat at their desk, put on a 5-minute meditation video to feel more confident and go do something, right? You're going to have yourself doing it again next week when you have another problem. Rather, confidence is about going forward and making action happen in your business and in your life. It will start to follow you as you move. I always like to say God can't steer a parked car. Your business can't grow with you sitting in the parking lot. You have got to start moving and doing and trying. And is it going to be perfect? No, not at all. In fact, one thing we talk about on our team is fail fast. We're all going to fail, but be a fast failure so you can go, that didn't work. I'm going to try this instead. That is okay. That fear of failure is often what leads to the paralysis of analysis. And that means your car isn't getting out of the parking lot. Here's what I've learned as someone who coaches designers, and I'm still in the trenches with you guys. You do not need to reinvent your entire business to begin improving it. You do not. And if you try to tell yourself you do, you're going to feel so overwhelmed. When I went into my first client's house with that cardboard box and 3 fan decks back in 2007, I had only one place to go, folks, with a cardboard box, and that was up, right? The reality is if I had waited to put together a perfect design plan and a perfect business model before I ever stepped foot in someone's house, I would have never gotten out of the gate. So let that be an inspiration to you. You only need one clear action that's going to shift trajectory. This isn't about cataclysmic change. This isn't about blowing up your business. This isn't about sitting here and analyzing to death what needs to change. I'm just asking you for one clear action. Not a full 90-day plan. No, you don't need to color code all your project management boards. You don't need to block 8 hours of CEO time. This is just one step, because what's going to happen is that one step is going to give you the momentum you need. Do you know how shocking it was to me when the client that I went to visit with my cardboard box and 3 fan decks said to me, Katie, I'm going to refer you. My boss is moving here. They need help too. And of course, oh, great. Happy to help. I'm here. I got in the car and I thought, you have got to be freaking kidding me. Like, I just toddled into your house with a cardboard box and 3 fan decks, and now you're ready to refer me? The reality, you want to talk about a confidence boost? That was it right there. Now I see you and you talk to me in our coaching sessions and you say, okay, Katie, but what action? There's a million things I can do. How do I prioritize? So let's just simplify and boil it all down. I want you to just take a moment, close your eyes unless you're driving, at which point just take a moment, maybe wait for the stoplight to just sit there with your eyes wide open and ponder. What is one bottleneck in your business that is causing you so much frustration right now? It keeps coming up. It feels like that old arcade game we had when I was a kid where you would whack a mole, the moles would pop up and you bonk them on the head and they go down and you earn more points the more moles you whacked. What is the whack-a-mole of your business right now that it keeps popping up and you're like, oh my gosh, we're dealing with this again? It's going to be that thing that makes you sigh every time you think about it. It slows down every project. And if you could fix it, this is how you know that you found your biggest bottleneck. All of a sudden you'd be like, and you take this big, deep breath and you could move forward in your business. Maybe it's pricing, marketing, scheduling, saying no to the wrong client. That's hard. It's easy to take anyone with a heartbeat and a checkbook, as my friend John calls it, right? What about setting boundaries and not responding to clients on weekends? Is that causing lots of heart murmurs in your business? Or maybe it's your whole design process and you're like, this just isn't working the way I'm doing it. I want you to pick one. Just pick one, the loudest one that rings through in your mind, and decide what better looks like. And before you do, I want to say better, not best. We're not going for perfection here. Not perfect, not Instagram pretty, just better. We're looking for that 1% incremental change that we talked about in last week's episode in the book Atomic Habits. That 1% change over time is going to be insane. So if your bottleneck is client communication, what could better potentially mean? Like, are you sending your weekly email updates to your clients? And are you saying, I'm not going to respond to your text after 6 p.m.? That is so hard to do, especially because as entrepreneurs, I know for me, I get wired to respond and move on, because I'm always putting out fires all day long. It can be hard to just shut it off, right? If your bottleneck is marketing, maybe it's just saying, I'm going to post 3 times a week. In fact, I'm going to block a half hour on my calendar to do so that it doesn't get missed Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Maybe it's updating your portfolio because you've done some amazing work. I see what you all are doing in your coaching sessions. It's gorgeous. Are you promoting that? You've already done the heavy lift. Now you just have to put it out there. I want you to think not about something also that's going to require an inordinate amount of time. This is about a 20-minute action that you can do today, not tomorrow, not on Friday, not next Monday. This is about today. Maybe it's just writing a template or blocking 1 hour on your calendar to go in and create recurring meetings for your social media posts and development. Maybe it's actually DMing 3 potential partners to set up a coffee or lunch date. 20 minutes can change your entire year. As we sit here on the brink of 2026, I want to challenge you. This is your time to figure out how to drive that car out of the parking lot in a meaningful way and say goodbye to paralysis of analysis. You've got to begin to move. And I want you to think about what you're committing to in those 20 minutes and DM it to me. What is the one thing you're going to change? I respond to every DM personally that comes through either my LinkedIn or my Instagram account. DM me because this is so important. You can have all the ideas. Do you know how many people are sitting in design firms right now who dream of starting their own business, but they literally can't get out of the chair, give their 2 weeks notice and walk away? You have an opportunity to be different today. You have an opportunity to change your action. So seriously, I want you to pause the episode if you need to and tell me what is the one thing you're changing, because I want to cheer you on and I want to support you and I want to hold you accountable. Because imagine if you do even one 20-minute thing every single week, you realize over a year, you're at 52 things you've changed in your business. If I said that to you today, 52 things you can change in your business over 1 year, wouldn't you go, oh my gosh, I'd have a whole new business? Why, yes, as a matter of fact, you would. It would be a game changer. So how do you balance? And this is what we constantly wrestle with in coaching. How do you balance running the business you have while still wanting to improve it? I heard someone say a while back that I absolutely loved. It's like building a plane in mid-flight. That's a big question, right? And it's a huge task and it can be really, really hard to do. But it's also extremely important if you're going to build the business that you actually want. And here's a strategy I'm going to share with you that has worked in every season of my life, from single in my 20s to married now to being a mom of 2 kids and then running a national interior design firm for commercial and multifamily properties. I want to talk to you about micro CEO time. 20 to 25 minutes a day, that's it. This is where you are going to fix bottlenecks. You're going to make decisions, you're going to improve systems, you're going to review projects, you're going to do your high-level thinking. I actually schedule this out on my calendar. It is so easy to get busy running your business. You're no longer CEOing your business. So when you take that 25 minutes and block it on your calendar, all of a sudden, it's not for paralysis of analysis. It's for doing. I want you to think about that as verbing. CEOing is what should be on your calendar. This is action taking. You don't need a CEO for the day. You need consistency. This is why I literally built monthly packages that are a minimum of 3 months. It's about being held accountable to actually doing what you know you need to do to get your business where you want it to be. And if you don't, that's why I'm here. We either develop it and hold you accountable, or we take the ideas you have, put them in order, and then hold you accountable, because that is the only thing that yields results. And also think about the accordion effect. Your business is going to expand and contract just like seasons. You should not be fighting it. I see so many designers fighting it. They get on Instagram and they think, oh, my business should be expanding like crazy. And then they'll be like, yeah, but I had a baby 6 months ago. And I'll be like, no, your business shouldn't be expanding like crazy unless you have the support system and the staff to allow it to expand like crazy and the financial resources to allow it to expand like crazy. Your growth steps in your expansion period should be appropriate for your life. And it is okay to protect your energy during contraction periods. You should be doing that because there's only one you. Only you can make your business and CEO your business in the way that you want it to. Also, I really encourage you, get help before you're ready. Oh, delegate the stuff you do not like. My favorite question I get as a coach is, what should I, or who is the person I should be hiring? What position should I hire first? I need an assistant designer. I just have too much design going on. And my question back is always, okay, what do you not like in your business that's sucking your time right now? And usually it's, I don't like bookkeeping. I don't like accounting. I don't like bill paying. And my immediate response is, why not hire that person? Your clients are coming to you because of your designs, your creativity, your look and how you zhuzh a room, right? They're not coming to you for your bookkeeping. Don't get me wrong. It's really important that it's in order, but you can hire someone to do that that still keeps the you of your business front and center. And don't feel like you have to improve everything. Let's talk about that for a minute, because it's only about improving the right thing. Let's think back on the beginning of this episode where we talked about getting all those rocks in the jar. The same thing is true of improvement. I want you to improve the right things, not everything. It's just not going to happen. But pick that one area, that pain point we talked about. I want you to elevate it and then watch that improvement ripple through the rest of your business. Because when your onboarding is solid, clients are going to trust you more, right? Right out of the gate. They see there's boundaries, you're capable of execution, your projects are going to run smoother, and consequently, we know this, profit follows. When those boundaries are clear, clients are going to respect you, your time expands, your energy improves. One of the greatest things I did was just getting rid of my personal cell phone. My clients don't get my personal cell phone. I have a work cell phone and I have a personal cell phone. At the end of my day, I literally plug my work cell phone in my office, and I shut the door and walk away. Even though my office is in my home, even though it is a cell phone and I could take it everywhere with me, I want you to think about why. Why are you doing that? Why do you feel that's okay? What finally hit me, and it took me until 2 years ago, by the way, before I broke apart my phones, was that it's easier on me to pay the monthly fee for a second phone and put it in a dock at night and walk away. Your clients will respect you more when you do this. Also, is your process defined? When you have your processes and systems in place, and I know you hear it all the time. I know. I am the princess of process. When you have processes, can scale faster. Your projects are going to become more predictable. There's always going to be a wild card, but you're going to get it as predictable as possible. That strengthens your brand. And we know that when we strengthen your brand, your profits are going to follow again. This all works together. Do you see the synergy of this? But everything I'm talking about has a motion in it. It has a verb in it. You are verbing, you are getting after things, and you're doing it. So If you want to decide where to start, I'm going to give you 5 quick wins. If you're like, I have all the bottlenecks, but I need a win, Katie, I see you. Let's talk about a win. First win you can easily implement. Write your ideal client boundary rules. What are you going to allow? What are you not? This is a lot like dating. What are your must-haves and your can't stands? Same is true with your client. Set your rules. We all do better when we know the size of the sandbox. And then I want you to create that one email template you're going to use weekly. Use it and use it again. You know that you've blocked time on Fridays whereby you're going to send out all of your emails so that your clients can talk with their significant others over the weekend about how they want to move forward with the project. Also, that big list of tasks that you have, I want you to start to delegate them. Even if you aren't fully hiring yet, think about who you could give them to that would free up your time, because it's a lot easier to envision yourself hiring someone when you know what you would have them do. And then schedule your 20-minute CEO block for the week. Schedule it. What isn't scheduled doesn't happen. And then I want you to think about, we talk about adding all these things, right? Your time is like a dinner plate. You can keep putting things on until it's overflowing and it feels like Thanksgiving dinner and you're sick to your stomach. I get that. But so the counterpoint to this, as important as it is to think about one thing you can change and do better in your business, I want you to think about one thing you're going to stop doing, because it's either draining your time, it's draining your energy, it's draining your value, whatever it is, pick one and stop doing it. Again, DM me this action item because I want to see it. I want to see what you're going to add and what you're going to take away, because they're both equally as important. Maybe you're going to add that CEO time to your calendar, but you're going to take away having your work phone and your personal cell phone be the same phone. Imagine how much time you would get back. Way more than 20 minutes that you need to be CEOing in a week, right? And don't get me wrong, CEOing takes a lot more time than that. But when you have an allocated time where you can think strategically, it's more likely you will do so. Also, heads up, something big is coming. You've heard me talking about it on social media, but we have a new masterclass that is coming up to help you create a business that finally and truly works for you. This is going to be potent. It's going to be transformational. And it's specifically for you as an interior designer, if and only if you are serious about change. Yeah, if that's you, I want you to mark your calendar, show up, sign up. You're going to do a worksheet in advance so you can come prepared to talk about it. And keep an eye on your email, keep an eye on our newsletter. We're going to give you a place to sign up for it. In fact, if you're driving, go to fixmydesignbiz.com and we will get you signed up right over there at fixmydesignbiz with a Z, biz.com. All right, time for 2 truths and a lie revealed. Designers wait to take action until they feel caught up. Yeah, we know that's true. That happens every single day. Momentum comes from clarity. Also true. Clarity, if you have clarity and action, you are going to be unstoppable. And number 3, you need a fully mapped out plan before you start changing your business. And I hope you can go. That is a resounding lie after this episode. You do not need a perfect plan. Do you think I had a perfect plan when I started out with a cardboard box? Absolutely not. But 20 years later, we dialed and styled it until we got it where it needed to be. And we're still doing so because good businesses are agile businesses. You need a starting point. And hopefully with this episode today, you just created one. In fact, if this episode lit a fire in you, good, then I've done my job. Let's take that spark and turn it into direction. And that's why I want to offer you a 15-minute problem-solving session free of charge with me. Just you and me. We'll look at your biggest bottleneck, the one you're going to DM me. We're going to identify your next step, and we're going to clear that fog so you can move forward in a meaningful way and with confidence. Because like we said, confidence isn't a mindset shift. Confidence comes from action. And you can book that right on our website, successbydesign.coach. I'll keep an eye out for your DMs. I want to hear from you. I want to support you. And I want to see you create the design business you dreamed about when you started out. Until then, take care.